Urban Legends Online presents The Slenderman Der Großmann. The Slender Man is believed to be a man dressed in a black business suit, like the ones worn in Men in Black, and is about 6 feet tall. The Slender Man was a man who was beat with a log, stabbed with a 2-foot stick, and hung from a tree with his arms, hands, legs, and feet all pulled out of the sockets. The legend is that in the daytime, the Slender Man will most likely show up in an open area with trees to the side of an open, empty road, or in the woods, or any area filled with trees. Most reports from survivors of the Slender Man say at night he shows up in open windows, dark open rooms, blank TV screens, and in large crowds of people. The Slender Man only kills kids younger than 16. There are ways to toy with him, but you may be risking your own death. His arms, legs, fingers, and toes will stretch so that he is up to 34 feet tall with a bone-breaking sound. If he appears to you, turn away. He has the power to control your body. When you wake up, you will be tied up, laying down in the woods where he was killed. A 547-pound log will be hanging over your head. He will ask you a question. If you get the answer right, he will break both your arms and legs. If you get it wrong, he will slowly stick his fingers down your neck and pull out your heart. Another version of Slender Man. I was walking home at 11:34 p.m. with my mates, and as we walked, one of us got a feeling that someone was behind us. We had to go through the woods to get to my house. My friends continued to worry, but we kept going until my friend slowed and turned to take a picture of whatever was making the noise behind us. The flash revealed a tall, many-limbed figure standing close by, watching us. We started to run, and I was the only one from the group who made it home. Another version of Slender Man. I was walking home when I saw a strange shape near the woods. Being more curious than smart, I went in a little deeper to find what it was. I saw the tip of a man's finger, and as I looked behind a tree, I saw a man in a suit with skinny, multiple limbs coming out of its back. I started to run, but his outstretched arms made me feel welcome. I started to step towards him when I heard a scream and saw my little sister watching. I ran off with her, and every time I go near the woods alone, I see the tip of a man's hand. Another version, Der Großmann. Der Großmann is German for the tall man. The tall man, or Slender Man, is a legend which on the Something Awful forums a few years back as part of a photo manipulation contest. Now the photos were faked. However, the supposed creator of the Slender Man reported later on that he could not remember ever posting information regarding the Slender Man in any way. Some other people claim to have seen or heard about the Slender Man long before in their lives or in legends dating back to the medieval period in human history, such as Germanic folklore concerning Der Großmann roaming the Black Forest and snatching away children who disobey their parents. The myth goes on to state that the tall man was possibly a child molester who was strung about the trees as punishment for his crimes. His spirit is said to have survived and continues to prey upon the young. The tall man is generally depicted as an unusually tall, he can grow to different heights, capable of blending in with the trees of a forest, and completely bald figure sporting a business suit, either a red or black tie. He has no eyes, nose, or ears, and has a very wide grin running from one side of his face to the other, or no mouth at all. In some cases, he's reported as having a hat, tentacles, or multiple limbs sprouting from his back, which he uses to ensnare his prey. What makes Der Großmann so fearful is that his existence is questionable. He may be real, or he may not be. Perhaps the majority who have encountered the tall man have never lived to tell the tale. In fact, fear for Slenderman may actually manifest him into your reality, creating a bridge between fact and myth. The tall man is commonly spotted hiding and lurking about in the fog when he stalks his victims. Der Großmann usually befriends his child victims, acting as an imaginary friend of sorts, and is capable of luring them into forests at night with psychokinetic powers. From then on, the children walked mindlessly into the branching arms of Der Großmann as he grins at their young faces, never to be seen or heard of again, a fate unknown. Some say these children are eaten, taken to another dimension, or quite possibly worse. Again, the myth varies. Der Großmann is said to be capable of slowly driving victims to madness, can induce paranoia, giving coughing fits to them, and can induce disorientation and dizziness, amnesia and insomnia. He is even said to be capable of visiting them in horrendous nightmares that vary from person to person. Such victims are slowly driven to insanity by Der Großmann and are soon incapable of thought outside the realm of his fear. This induced insanity is said to weaken victims, making them more susceptible to his control. He loves to toy with his prey before finishing them off. In some cases, victims become mindless minions for Der Großmann, working to bring in more victims to him for his satisfaction. These minions may plant listening devices in your home, follow you around without you being aware of it, and watch over you even as you sleep. Some say he can teleport and appear at multiple locations at the same time. In some myths, he is able to distort electronic equipment. Quite possibly, Der Großmann is some electromagnetic entity. Think you can kill or ambush him? Think again. With his psychokinetic powers, Der Großmann can deflect bullets and other objects away from his body before impact. Ambush would also be quite impossible. If you've seen Der Großmann, it's most likely that he is closely watching you and all of your actions. failed attempts to strike at Der Großmann with a weapon may be met with him obstructing your nervous system and disabling bodily functions, making it ever more easy for him to finish you off. Again, it is not known exactly what happens once a victim has finally been taken by him. Some say they simply disappear. In more gruesome accounts, the victims' bodies are found impaled on tree limbs with their organs placed throughout their bodies in plastic bags. The most frightening possible fate that may be that Der Großmann extends his fingers to great lengths, puncturing the bodies of victims and destroying every major internal organ they have from within, tying them up from the inside into a great slendery knot. Remember, the thought of Der Großmann may bring him ever more closer to you. Trying to forget about him will also lead him to you. Once you see him, there is no turning away from the possibilities of ends which await you. Those slender shadows you see moving about in the dark of the night, or that tall and misshaped tree in the distance, may very well be Der Großmann, waiting, watching, grinning all the while. Thanks for listening to this story from urbanlegendsonline.com. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification button to receive our updates. And remember, don't believe everything you're told.